We want to take you to a very special groundbreaking that was recently held at Teton Trails Park. It was special as they broke ground on a lacrosse field, not just because it's a new lacrosse field, but because of the young man's name that will always be attached to it.
Jeremy's great lacrosse skills and intelligence led him to be recruited to play for Johns Hopkins University, the men's lacrosse team. However, unfortunately, before his college lacrosse session could start, Jeremy passed away from pneumonia and flu at age 18. There will be a granite monument with the name of the new field installed when the field is ready.
This is very special to us too. We weren't really aware that it was being discussed until a little bit over a week ago.
Jeremy Huber was taken away from this life far too soon. But with the new lacrosse field at Teton Trails Park, a part of him will live on. Following the short groundbreaking ceremony, we had a chance to talk with Bob Huber, Jeremy's father, who step by step walked us through his son's life and passion for the sport. It started at age 6 and continued with the Southern Nevada Lacrosse Association and Palo Verde High School. Upon graduation from Palo Verde, the family got a call from the head coach at Johns Hopkins University.
Less than a week later, this was in the fall, we were on a plane to Baltimore to visit with Coach Petramala, and he didn't take much convincing for Jeremy to want to join the ranks of the most famous lacrosse program that's ever existed at Johns Hopkins.
Jeremy accepted the offer from Johns Hopkins and had a fairly active first semester for a freshman. After the mid-year break, he returned to Johns Hopkins and almost immediately became ill.
He was diagnosed with an abscessed tonsil. The tonsil was swollen. And so he was admitted to a non-university hospital that was across from the dorm on Friday night, January, whatever that was, but right at the end of January. They drained it, and he was feeling better on Saturday, could swallow and good things. Went home, back to the dorm. Come Monday morning, Jeremy was usually the guy that got everybody up and ready to go to school on the mornings, but he was still sleeping, is what his roommate thought. Roommate couldn't wake him up. They called 911, and he was pronounced dead at the time that they arrived at the dorm.
Nothing can replace Jeremy, but this father hopes gestures such as this dedication at Teton Trails will introduce one amazing young man to others and perhaps inspire others to be the best they can be.
Most of these things, remind you what the world might have missed by his dying so young. But on the other hand, these types of things sort of cement his place. And as long as there's Google, somebody can walk up to the plaque here and say, I wonder why they named this after Jeremy Mitchell Huber. Who was that?
Mayor Pro Tem Michele Fiore promised at the ceremony to have the field ready for play on January 26th of next year. That's the date Bob and Nancy Huber refer to as Jeremy Day, the day he passed away.
On a personal level, we certainly appreciate this to help keep Jeremy's memory alive. It's special, and it will always be special. And now we have a date that can be special again.
The field will have LED lights so that play can continue after dark and artificial turf for sustainability reasons. It's likely to get a lot of play since there are about 12,000 lacrosse players and 72 teams here in our community.